Two breaking news items, both of them are important. First off, Tom Homan just announced that, effective immediately, federal immigration agents will be drawn down by 700 in Minneapolis. He says this is in part due to unprecedented cooperation, his words, with county jails. Second, the White House confirmed that to Edward Lawrence that President Trump had a call with President Xi this morning. Just in. Now this, the spending deal that ended the government shutdown only funds DHS until Valentine's Day. Lucas Tomlinson joining us now. Lucas, I sense a big fight coming over this.
There's no question, Stuart. Good morning. Democrats want new rules for ICE in the wake of those two shootings in Minneapolis. GOP lawmakers are demanding an end to sanctuary cities and legislation that will require proof of citizenship to vote. And no sooner did that short-lived government shutdown end, now Congress faces a new deadline, Valentine's Day, to fund DHS. Here's Republican Senator James Lankford earlier calling those Democratic demands unreasonable, including judicial warrants for ICE.
It would turn us from having sanctuary cities to having a sanctuary country that individuals, even with criminal records that are not legally present, could not be picked up by ICE unless they had a federal offense, not a state offense. That means a rape, a murder, an assault, 3 DUIs, that ICE could not pick them up.
Now, perhaps that announcement from Tom Homan off the top that you read, Stuart, could be part of these negotiations, but likely it is. Now, Democrats are also calling for ICE agents to drop the mask and end so-called roving patrols. Many insist that absent any changes, they will block funding for DHS. That would mean no funding or pay for Customs and Border Protection, ICE, the Coast Guard, FEMA, the Secret Service, and TSA, which would likely impact commercial air travel. Here's Democratic Senator Patty Murray.
If Republicans refuse to make the changes the American people are demanding, they are forcing a Republican shutdown of DHS.
Senate and House leaders say talks are ongoing and involve President Trump, but so far there's been no final agreement. Any deal would need to clear both chambers and be signed by President Trump on Friday the 13th, adding to the drama there, Stuart, ahead of Valentine's Day deadline. Now, Republicans vow to not let Democrats abolish DHS, but some are open to changes to the third largest cabinet department. Stuart?
Lucas, thank you very much. Senator Rand Paul joins me now. You're the Senate Homeland Security Chair. Senator, we just heard from Tom Homan. He announced that he is drawing down agents in Minnesota by some 700. He seems to be taking the temperature down, or at least trying to. You approve?
Yeah, I think it's a good sign. I think it's also a sign that maybe communication requires people on both sides of the equation to talk with each other. And so, yeah, I'm very hopeful. And as we move forward, it'd be great if there were less of these roving patrols. I see no reason why ICE is in charge of crowds, why you got 60 ICE agents in the middle of the street shooting canisters of tear gas. They should be involved with targeted pickup of people, but the Minneapolis police should cooperate. And if they're going to cooperate, I think that's great. The way it has always worked is if you're a federal law enforcement agent, you call the local law enforcement, 10 local policemen go with 2 federal agents, you knock on the door, you have a warrant, you say, we're here to arrest so-and-so, and that's the way it typically has worked. It works everywhere, but I think there's been resistance in Minneapolis that's been making it difficult.
Okay. The military shot down an Iranian drone which had aggressively approached our aircraft carrier. Meanwhile, we're still trying to negotiate a nuclear deal with Iran. Here's what the president says about this.
They are negotiating. They'd like to do something, and we'll see if something is going to be done. They had a chance to do something a while ago, and it didn't work out, and we did Midnight Hammer. I don't think they want that happening again, but they would like to negotiate. We are negotiating with them right now.
I believe that our position in these negotiations is no enrichment of uranium and inspection, full inspection of all nuclear sites. Would that be a deal that you could accept?
I think it'd be a great deal if it's a deal we can get. And obviously we have every prerogative and justification in shooting down anybody who fires any kind of weapon or has any kind of weapon that comes close to our troops. So I wish for the best on this. I am not so hopeful, though, that if we begin bombing Iran, that will resolve the situation. The hope has always been is that there will be enough of an upheaval of people that the people will take back the government in Iran. And we sometimes, we tend to think, oh gosh, it's never going to happen. But you know, when things finally changed in the Cold War, and finally the Soviet Union fell, and one after another the rest of the Eastern Bloc fell, it happened surprisingly quickly. Once it happened, I think that kind of change is possible in Iran. And I think there's an enormous amount of the public that is sick and tired of the terrible economy, the devaluation of their currency, as well as the repression of their liberties. So I think there is a chance that this may be the time that there's enough of an upheaval to overturn the government.
If the Revolutionary Guard started shooting Iranian people again in large numbers, would you favor taking out the chief of the Revolutionary Guards with a rocket?
Yeah. I don't know the possibility of that without knowing, you know, our intelligence with regards to individuals. I do think that it's difficult to bomb away an entire regime without people on the ground, and I am not for putting American troops into Iran.
Fair enough. Senator Rand Paul, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Don't be a stranger. Come back soon. Thank you, sir.